bro, some crazy shit has happened in the NBA lately. Kevin Durant is now on the Phoenix Suns. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers added Deangelo Russell. Obviously, Kyrie Irving went to the Dallas Mavericks with Luka Doncic. So basically, we're going to simulate the season and see what happens with these new trade additions. Now, with the new additions to all of these rosters in the NBA, the Lakers are projected to finish first in the league. Obviously, adding Deangelo Russell is huge. Last season in Minnesota, Deangelo averaged 18 and 7 a game. And now the Lakers might have the best big three in the league. That is unless we're talking about the new look Phoenix Suns. Although weirdly, they're picked to finish 17th in the NBA. Their first game of the season actually comes against the Dallas Mavericks. Obviously, they just signed Kyrie Irving. We get to see Kevin Durant take on his old teammate in Kyrie Irving, who's going to shoot a three, but he's going to miss the first shot. Kevin Durant looks good in a Suns jersey. He's going to get the ball screen right here from DeAndre Ayton, and he's going to drive in and shoot a wide open mid-range pull-up, but he's also going to miss. How much you guys want to bet Luka ends up winning MVP in this season still? Devin Booker's going to drive in and shoot a tough mid-range shot, but that's good. Let's simulate a little bit more in this game. Wow, as you guys can see, the Phoenix Suns are not playing around this year. Devin Booker scored 37 points on 14 for 25 shooting, while Kevin Durant added 24.7 rebounds and 9 assists. Chris Paul had 14.7 rebounds and 15 assists. The Suns may be the best team in the NBA. That is unless this new look Los Angeles Lakers team has anything to say about it. A starting five of Deangelo Russell, Malik Beasley, LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, and Anthony Davis is something fierce. And man, the NBA just got so much more exciting after these trades. The trade deadline in the NBA is better than any other trade deadline in any professional sport. It's happening at the perfect time too, with the NFL season winding down. We got a little bit further into this game. It looked like this one was going to come down to it as the Lakers were only up 4 with less than a minute to go. Deangelo Russell back in a Lakers jersey for the second time in his career. LeBron James is going to shoot a fadeaway hook shot. Oh my goodness, and that might have been the dagger. The Lakers escaped this one with a win as LeBron has 39, Anthony Davis has 18 and 16, and then Deangelo Russell finished with 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 9 assists. The rest of this NBA season is going to be an absolute trip. We went ahead and simulated to this year's All-Star break though, and there are a lot of interesting faces on the All-Star team. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker make it as members of the Suns. And the Suns have been playing solid basketball through the midway point. They are currently the 7th seed with a record of 32 and 28. Kevin Durant is averaging his typical 25.6 rebounds and 4 assists a game on over 50% shooting. And Chris Paul is averaging the most assists that he has since the Clippers. I think the Lakers have been by far the best team in the league so far. They have a record of 42 and 17, first in the West. Deangelo Russell's averaging 15 a game so far. LeBron's averaging 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. And Anthony Davis is chipping in a double-double with points and rebounds. New look Kevin Durant is in the three-point contest this year, and he is still amazing at stroking long things. As we begin simulating the rest of the season so we could find out what happens. When we got to the end of the year where Luka won MVP, told you so. Jason Tatum would actually end up leading the league in scoring this year at 32 a game. Joel Embiid would lead the league in rebounding at 12.9 a game. And Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks would lead the league in assists a game at 11. He also averaged 31 points. That's insane. But taking a look at our playoff picture, some interesting things occur. The Memphis Grizzlies would get the #1 seed in the West with a record of 56 and 26. And that's thanks to Ja Morant averaging 29 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists a game. The Lakers did end up getting the 2 seed, and you can really tell that this group is starting to mesh, and they finally got some good pieces to fit around LeBron. New look Dallas Mavericks would get the 4 seed, and they'd be taking on Denver. Kyrie Irving would get up to a 91 overall, and he's averaging 21 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists a game on over 50% shooting. Obviously, Luka had that MVP season, but one of the teams that we are all most interested in, the Phoenix Suns, had a very disappointing year. They only finished with a record of 43 and 39, meaning that they would be in the play-in tournament taking on the LA Clippers. If they want to guarantee a spot in the playoffs, they would have to win this game, and that's going to be tough against a Clipper team that has great wing defenders in Paul George, Markieff Morris, and obviously Kawhi Leonard. Chris Paul is going to find DeAndre Ayton on the back cut for a dunk on their first possession of the game. I think this Suns team could be underrated defensively. Devin Booker isn't a terrible defender, and obviously Kevin Durant is an all-NBA defensive type of player. Anyways, we begin to simulate some more of this game, and the Phoenix Suns would be able to squeak out a 1-point win. Devin Booker had 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 11 assists. Cam Payne was second in scoring. KD had 21 and 9. The only thing that matters is that they advance to the playoffs, where they will be taking on the LA Lakers. So in the first round, we're going to have Deangelo Russell, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis taking on Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant. We went ahead and simulated some of the games in that series, and the Lakers found themselves up 3-0 pretty much immediately. So far in the series, LeBron is averaging 23 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. The Suns overall have had a disappointing season, and Devin Booker is the catalyst of that. He's only averaging 16 points points a game in this series on 36% from the field. The Suns would have one more opportunity at home here to try and salvage what has been a very disappointing year, but midway through the third quarter, they already found themselves down 12. The Lakers now have a ton of offensive weapons, and one of them being this pick and roll between LeBron James and Anthony Davis that is going to lead to a monster jam. I didn't think scoring would be a problem for this Suns team, but only 50 points midway through the third is actually quite alarming. And now the Lakers were looking to score again as Kevin Durant was trying to guard LeBron, but LeBron misses a shot, Anthony Davis gets a rebound, and then he gets fouled. And that is what would eventually lead to their premature exit in the playoffs. The Lakers would end up sweeping the Suns in a 118-84 victory, and in this game, that was thanks to LeBron James himself, who had 34 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 steals. Once again, Devin Booker struggled to score only 19, Chris Paul had 14, and Kevin Durant barely got into double figures with 12 points on 4 for 11 from the field. I guess that was a failed experiment. The Suns have been eliminated, and the Lakers punched their tickets to the next round. Speaking of failed experiments, though, Kyrie Irving and the Dallas Mavericks were on the verge of being one, as they found themselves down 3-2 in the first round against Denver. In the playoffs, Kyrie Irving's numbers have been down, only averaging 18 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists a game. Kyrie's gonna have to step up and help Luka in this game if they want to keep their season alive. The real MVP of the league, Nikola Jokic, finds himself with deep post position, but he steps out of bounds on the first play. It looks like the Mavs are gonna have Kyrie start on the ball as the point guard to begin this one. Luka is gonna get good post position right here, though, but they send the double team early on, but it doesn't matter because Luka's a fucking beast. We went ahead and simulated some more of this game, and we found ourselves with a tie ball game with 2 minutes to go. The whole season comes down to this, and the Mavs are going to give up a wide open dunk to Jokic and call a timeout. Kyrie Irving and the Mavs are at a point where they need buckets on pretty much every offensive possession, and Luka's going to try and drive him, but he's going to stop short and pull up. He had a layup. Why didn't he keep going? Now the Nuggets have a chance to go up 2 possessions, and that's exactly what they do with another Jokic bucket. Doncic is once again going to force a tough turnaround jump shot, but he hits it. We got a 2-point ball game, but once again, Jokic is going to get whatever he wants at the rim. He's unstoppable. Dwight Powell, get a fucking map. Doncic is driving to the basket. He's getting double teamed, forces up another shot, and that's going to be a miss. That is a huge missed basket. Now Aaron Gordon's going to get a layup, and oh my goodness, it's starting to fall apart for the Mavs. Denver Nuggets are going to be able to eliminate Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic in only 6 games, and this was thanks to Jokic's clutch efforts, as he had 30 points with a bunch of buckets coming in clutch time. And oh my god, Kyrie Irving had an abysmal game, only 4 points on 2 for 9 shooting. And now the Mavericks have been eliminated, and of all the teams that made big moves at the trade deadline, we only have one left, and that is the Los Angeles Lakers of Deangelo Russell, Anthony Davis, and LeBron. Taking a look at the second round of the playoffs, we're going to have Memphis taking on Denver, LA taking on New Orleans, Boston taking on Miami, and Cleveland taking on Milwaukee. We began to get to simulating some of that round, and to say that there were some shocks would be an understatement. New Orleans was up 3-0 on the Lakers, and in Game 3, LeBron's streak of scoring 10 or more points came to an end as he only had 7 points on 3 for 9 shooting. Lakers were on the verge of being swept in the second round, and considering they got the additions of Rui Hachimura, Deangelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt, that would be an extreme disappointment. And this was another one that was coming down to it as New Orleans was up 1 point with 50 seconds to go. Brandon Ingram looks like a crackhead, but he can sink free throws and he would extend the lead to 2. And then on the second free throw, he would be able to extend the lead to 3. LeBron was pushing the ball up the court and they would need a bucket here. Anthony Davis is going to set the screen so he can get Zion off of him, but he's going to shoot a fadeaway jumper and miss, and oh my goodness, that smells like it might be the end. They do not have to foul yet, so they're just going to be able to play out this defensive possession. If they get a bucket here, then it's officially over, and oh my goodness, CJ McCollum with the fucking last nail in the coffin. The Lakers would probably need a quick 3 right here if they wanted to stay in this game, but instead LeBron's going to choose to drive in and get a layup. But it was just too little too late for this Los Angeles Lakers squad, as LeBron and company would end up being eliminated. Brandon Ingram had 41 points in this game, and that would officially make it so every team that made major trade acquisitions would end up being eliminated. Now we're going to have Boston and Cleveland in the Eastern Conference, and then Memphis and New Orleans in the Western Conference. This Boston team has looked like the best team all season. Jason Tatum's averaging almost 30 points per game in the playoffs, and his running mate Jaylen Brown is doing the exact same thing. But don't get me wrong, this Cleveland team is young, but boy do they have some talent. Then in the West, obviously Memphis has probably been the team to beat all year. John Morant's averaging 29, 6, and 8 in the playoffs. But New Orleans did not care about that Memphis team as they ended up eliminating them 4-2. Boston would end up beating Cleveland 4-2 as well, which meant our NBA Finals matchup was set between the Celtics and the Pelicans. It would actually be quite an interesting NBA Finals. In real life, I think it has the potential to be a very good series. A good series is exactly what it was, as we would have a Game 7 situation. So in a season full of major trades, 2 teams that already had their roster set from the beginning of the year would play one last time to decide who the king of the NBA would be. And early on, it looked like Jason Tatum would be the one to set the tone. But as we began to simulate, the Pelicans would actually start to slowly take control of this game on the road. If the Celtics wanted to keep up in this winner-take-all game, they would need to start scoring more, and Jaylen Brown would find Jason Tatum to do just that. But we were now down to just 59 seconds to go, and the score was tied at 118. Boston had battled back, and now Jaylen Brown was at the free throw line to give them the lead. He would need another free throw to put them up one full possession, and he hit it, and now New Orleans would need to come down and do something. Murphy had the ball, and he would force up a three-point shot that would miss, and Jaylen Brown would bring down the rebound, but once again, New Orleans does not need to foul. But for whatever reason, they would, which would send Jaylen Brown to the free throw line again, which would end up putting them up 4 points. It looked like luck was running out for New Orleans as CJ McCollum tried to shoot a step back, but he would miss, which pretty much meant that this game was over. The Boston Celtics would end up winning the NBA championship, with Jason Tatum being awarded Finals MVP. He would end this game with 51 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. So I guess what this simulation showed us was that sometimes random and desperate trade moves are not always the answer.